Sister Cleges and the Christmas Cherries, Bedtime Story for Kids. Today we have a book named Sister Cleges and the Christmas Cherries, Bedtime Story for Kids. I think they're so pretty. I hope you guys really enjoy it. I love it. Please give this video a like if you enjoy it, and don't forget to subscribe for more stories. Thank you, reading. So, here we go. In the time when England was ruled by King Uther Pendragon, father of the famous King Arthur, lived a brave knight. His name was Sister Cleges. He was big and strong. Sister Cleges was noble, courageous, and extremely generous. He owned many lands and had a huge fortune. Unfortunately, as time passed, Sister Cleges lost all his money due to his generosity. To the poor, Sister Cleges gave away as much gold as he could, forgave the rents for his tenants who had a hard time, and he lent money to people without expecting any repayment. He had a beautiful wife, Dame Cherries. She was as kind and generous as her husband. Every year on Christmas Eve, Sir Cleges and his wife hosted a grand feast at their house. Many people attended this feast, and no one would leave empty-handed. Over the years, his wealth dwindled, but he never gave up on his feasts and gifts. At last, he mortgaged all his lands when his gold and silver ran out. He knew, in the end, God would make things right for him. In the end, he was only left with a small estate that held little value. His wife and his 2 children lived humbly without any luxuries. This Christmas, he had no money for his feasts and gifts. As he walked to his house, Sister Cleges felt miserable. He could hear the music and the happy laugh. "Oh, Jesus in heaven, I thank you with all my heart," he cried out suddenly, "for the joy I felt during this time for years when I hosted the feasts to rich and poor in your name. Those who dined at my table were short of nothing." On Christmas Day, Sister Cleges walked outside his house. He knew that, even though his situation was bad, there were many others who were suffering as well. He sat down under his favorite cherry tree and wondered if there was a way to help people even in his current state. As he sat under the tree, he heard the rustling of the leaves. He looked up and saw that the cherry tree was in full bloom, even on this cold winter day. He became very happy and picked out a few cherries and took some home. His wife indeed was happy to see ripe cherries in winter. "Cherries in winter!" she exclaimed. She suggested offering some to the king. "I hear he's at Cardiff Castle presently. I'm sure he would be amazed to see cherries in Christmas time." Sister Cleges agreed with his wife's plan. He went outside and picked out the very best cherries from the tree and decided to go to Castle Cardiff. Halfway to the castle, he realized he was not dressed properly. His clothes were dirty and had holes in them. He was disappointed. He thought the king may not receive an ill-dressed man. "I shall go, even if I am not dressed like a knight. After all, I still am one." He was stopped at the castle gate. "Who are you? What business do you have?" asked the guard. "Good day, sir," replied Sir Cleges humbly. "I am a knight of His Majesty's realm. I'm here to offer this basket of cherries to the king." The guard demanded a payment if Sister Cleges wanted to enter the castle. Sister Cleges was poor. He tried to convince the guard, but the guard would not listen. Finally, the guard said to Sister Cleges, "Whatever reward you receive from the king, I shall have 1/3 of it." So it was agreed, and Sir Cleges entered the castle. Inside the castle, Sister Cleges was stopped yet again, this time by the guard of the castle keep. He too asked for a payment for Sir Cleges' entry. Again, Sister Cleges expressed his inability to pay, but the guard would not hear of it. He, like the castle gate's guard, demanded 1/3 of the reward Sir Cleges would receive. After an agreement, Sister Cleges was allowed to pass. Shortly after, he has stopped again, and another guard demanded 1/3 of the reward. To this, Sister Cleges agreed and was finally allowed into the king's hall. Once inside the hall, Sister Cleges offered the basket of ripe cherries to the king. "Miracle! It truly is a miracle!" the king cried in surprise. "Cherries in winter! Join us for dinner, Sir Cleges," the king said as he passed on the basket of cherries to everyone present in the hall. After the dinner was done, the king asked what present did Sir Cleges want. "I have only one wish, Your Highness," said the poor knight. "If it pleases Your Highness, I shall like the permission to give 12 strokes to any person of my liking with my stick." The king was surprised at the request, but granted it the same. When the third guard saw Sister Cleges come out of the king's hall, he demanded his promised share. Sister Cleges immediately hit him with his stick 4 times in a row. This sent the guard running away. The same thing happened with the second guard and the third guard as well. When Sister Cleges was about to leave the castle, a guard came running to him. "The king has summoned you to his hall," Sir Cleges was told. Finally, the kind had remembered Cleges. He asked why was he in such a poor state and expressed his desire to know more about Cleges's request. Sister Cleges then narrated the incident. After Sister Cleges was done retelling the tale, King Pendragon laughed and said, "You have earned another reward, clever Sir Cleges. You shall have new lands and the control of this castle. But you must promise to be wise with your money." And so, Sister Cleges made his promise to his king and returned home a wealthy and happy man. The end. Good job, friends. Thank you so much for reading with me. Bye, I'll see you next time.